You know, Arkansas beating Kansas today has to make you ask a very compelling question. Is Arkansas starting to figure it out all at the right time? And the pieces are starting to come together the way we always envisioned them coming together. Because, in my opinion, from watching this game today, I'm not going to get overboard, but I will say this: Coach Cal has put together a team that's ready to compete in March. Because what was the one thing that we always said about this Arkansas team, even when they were struggling, is that you just can't seem to get multiple guys to get going at the same time and to have a great game simultaneously, right? A dude was a shell of himself. Johnell Davis was playing through injury, right? We didn't know these things. We didn't know. We knew that dude had, the foot thing, all right? He was out for months, right? But we didn't know Johnell Davis fell off a golf court, and messed up his wrist, right? And was affecting the way he played the game. We didn't know that, right? Boogie playing through something that he was really hurt the entire time and still was putting up numbers, right? DJ couldn't quite figure out his role on this team. DJ Wagner, right? Billy Richmond and Carter Knox weren't really getting minutes like that. They weren't being those energy guys that they are now. Trevor Brazile was in and out of the lineup, inconsistent, not being the guy that we wanted to see from Maui. But it's like now, I hate to say it like this, but I said this before, but Boogie going out, the arrow going out, it made it to where some other guys had no choice but to step up on his team and play. And now that you get Boogie back and hopefully you get the arrow back soon, what it also shows you is that when I figure out the right rotations of where to put Boogie, where to put the arrow back into what we already got that's flowing really well, we can be a dangerous team. I mean, because if you look at the stats from today, look at it, bro. You had a dude gave you 22 on 10 of 19 shooting. When was the last time he took 20 shots? He looked like the dude from Tennessee today. He looked like the Tennessee version of himself that went to an Elite Eight a year ago, right? The Tennessee team that was dominant under Rick Barnes as usual, right? Then you got Johnell Davis, 5 for 10, 4 for 9 from the three. Made all his free throws with 18 points. Hit a big three that really gave us a little cushion. That's the Johnell Davis we've been wanting and hoping and waiting to see, right? DJ Wagner, 5 for 12, 1 for 4 from the three, but made his free throws, 14 points. Right, had a couple of turnovers, but for the most part, a solid game. Played the entire game. A dude played almost the entire game. Right, so that's 40. That's what's that? That's 54 points between three of your starters. Then Brazil chipped in with an 11. Right, he wasn't great from the three, but he was still 4 for 9 from the field. Then Carter Knox gave you 6, 2 for 3 from the field. So then you get off the bench. Boogie gave you another 6. Billy gave you a couple. Big Z really wasn't able to play in this game. This wasn't a Big Z game, and if we've seen Cal have to do that, but that in the past where he has to sit down Big Z because the game is either too physical or it it's too up and down for him, or um you need more of a bruiser. And that's not your guy. He's more of a finesse guy. He's a guy that can stretch the floor. He's a guy that can hit the three. But if he's not hitting the three and he's not able to protect the rim, then sometimes Big Z can become obsolete. He can become um, somebody you just got to sit down. That only can play 4 minutes, right? It becomes things like that sometimes for him. And so overall, what I realized again in this game is that Cal has put together a team that can compete in March. That if multiple dudes show up to the show, we can beat anybody. Now, the interesting thing is we have a very good game coming up against St. John's, who, um, man, it's a rivalry within itself when it comes to Patino, when it comes to Cal. And now, one thing we know to be true is that this St. John team is something else. Again, there is a story there with Patino and Cal, but man, this team, Patino has revitalized St. John. I remember St. John wasn't hitting on nothing a couple years ago. And who I matter of fact, I think wasn't Mike Anderson the coach. If I'm not mistaken, Mike Anderson was the coach at St. John, and they wasn't hitting on nothing, and they've been revitalized. They got a They got a Big East player. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the Big East? If I'm not mistaken, right? Let me double check my work, right? Because everybody want to be technical. That's the Big East. They got RJ Louise over there, the Big East player of the year. They got a big. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. EGO4. He's a buck. Is a force. And so this is a game where a dude like a dude got to be ready to bang and probably have to play another 35, 40 minutes. This is a game where Brazil has an opportunity to have a really big game. This is a game where our guard play has to be ready to step up to the plate. All right, DJ Wagner has to be ready. Boogie Fland probably gonna play even more. You wish you had the arrow for a game like this, right? And what he brings, but I think it's another game where Big Z probably won't be able to play much, just because of how they impose their will, unless he get in the game to spread the floor. But St. John's defense is suffocating, and they starting to shoot the ball better. Right, so just something you got to pay attention to. I think we can beat them, but we gotta again have a game where everybody shows up to the show. Um, but again, just looking at this team and realizing that Coach Cal came in and literally had no player signed to what he's built thus far and the adversity that this Arkansas team has faced, it is safe to say that he has built a great team that is ready to compete in March. And as great as Patino and St. John's is, that's another one I think we can win that gets us to the Sweet 16. But it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a match, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And I really wanted to make that video just say that Coach Cal does deserve his flowers for the way in which he has coached his team and stayed with this team and believed in this team and persevered with this team through everything that they've been through. Because they could have rolled over and died after going 0-5 in the SEC, but they continued to play and won some key games at the end, and here we are. And put Kansas out, yet again, beat them out a few years ago when they were the number one team, or they was a higher seed rather, and it was just a crazy thing. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited as hell, and we're gonna just keep on building on this thing, man. So, yeah, tune in on Saturday, man. I'll probably be back with some post game after that game, depending on how things go and how I feel. But I'll definitely be back with some post game comments after that game on Saturday with St. John's. I'm expecting it again to be a dog fight, and we got to come ready to play. And if we do, man, we can make some noise, man. Because after St. John's, I'm not gonna say the bracket gets easy, but every game after that is winnable, right? Unless you end up matching up with like a Florida again or something like that, who is a crazy dominant team, So interested to see what Cal can do, man. But we're gonna go from there. I love y'all so much. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video. This is Skybox Conversations, man. The Hoop Power. We talk about things in a different way. And the topic today was about how Coach Cal has actually put together a great team despite their early struggles. And can be prouder of him, man, and he deserves his flowers. I love y'all, man. Peace.